Hawk, dodge! Ray, tie Kruger's legs up with your web. My two pets, a level 1 Windspeed Hawk and a level 0 Coal Silk Spider, obeyed my command. What the hell? Kruger yelled as he swung and stumbled to the ground. Could this match actually be my first victory at the academy? Kruger, the maniac who could shapeshift his arms, thought this would be an easy win for him when he saw me walk into the arena with my juvenile hawk perched on my shoulder and my 3-inch spider pop out of my pocket. Little did he know, I was desperate. And today was the day me, Hawk, and Ray would prove everyone wrong. If I won this duel against Kruger, I'd earn a slot on Princess Nadia's beast-hunting expedition alongside her brother, Crown Prince Magnus. I'm sending your pathetic beasts back to the zoo. Kruger morphed his arms into a scythe blade, sliced through the webbing on his feet, and charged for Hawk and Ray. This was the moment. My beasts and I had seconds to watch. The entire academy watched with bated breath. Could I actually do it? I'd been training my hawk and my spider day and night. And now I was one victory away from being part of the royal family's beast-hunting expedition, where secretly, I planned to stop them from herding and dragging magical creatures back in chains. I pointed toward Kruger. Hawk, swoop down and peck his face. Ray, get up in his shirt and use your venomous scratch. Yes, Master Karl. My beasts acted at once. They were common beasts, but they were special to me. Hawk swooped down and pecked at Kruger's face, while Ray disappeared into his shirt, causing him to writhe and swipe around wildly. My heart swelled. Keep it up, Hawk and Ray. We're going to win this, Kruger snarled. No, I can't lose to a petting zoo. Everyone was so focused on the battle that no one noticed the arrival of Princess Nadia. The beautiful royal princesses in her elegant gown watched from her viewing box. Her eyes twinkled at the sight of Hawk. She giggled at Ray's spunky spirit. She too couldn't seem to believe that my little pets just took down Kruger, a level 5 shapeshifter. The crowd gasped as Kruger fell to the ground. Impossible. Did the loser from the mines actually do it? Did he beat Kruger? Suddenly, Kruger sneered and morphed his arms into 2 electric rods. It's not over. We're just getting started. Time to regenerate. He hammered his 2 electric rods together as electricity pulsed into his body, sending Hawk and Ray flying. My eyes widened. No. Kruger had the ability to revive himself? I watched as Kruger rose, his wounds healing, his muscles bulging, as electricity spiraled through him. Shocking, isn't it? Looks like your pets could use a jolt. He lunged at Hawk, yanked him out of the air, and threw him back toward me. He shocked Ray with his rod, then shifted his arms back to normal and flicked her aside with his finger as the crowd erupted into laughter. In seconds, my beasts were downed. I scrambled to them and held them in my arms as Sergeant Rita entered the ring and clapped. Excellent countermove, Kruger. There was never any doubt you'd win the last spot on the royal family's expedition squad. I lowered my head. I just lost out on my best shot at infiltrating the elusive Beast Expedition Squad and helping save countless more magical beasts like Ray and Hawk. Kruger wiped his hands smugly, then spit at me and my beasts. That wasn't even a battle. It was a circus. Hawk sent me a telepathic message, a mana-bound link that beasts and masters share. Don't beat yourself up, Karl. You're special. That's why we chose you. Ray joined in. That's right. There's no bond more special than when a beast chooses a master. Everyone, please draw your attention to the center, where we shall now announce today's winner and the final member of the royal family's expedition squad. Stop! Before the announcer could finish, Princess Nadia stood from her box and raised her hand. The entire arena went silent. She leaned over and smiled down at me and my pets. Can the little spider do any tricks? Kruger and Sergeant Rita looked dumbfounded. I froze. Was she serious? Princess Nadia batted her eyelashes. Show me a trick. I didn't understand what she was doing, or how this helped me, but I was out of options. Ray, I said quietly. Webmaker, build a tree. Ray nodded and began scurrying in tight circles, spinning silk at incredible speed. Within seconds, a small, bonsai-shaped tree of web stood in the center of the arena. The crowd began to applaud as Kruger's face began to twist. Princess Nadia laughed. "That's wonderful. Such a talented little spider." She gestured to her guards. "Bring me the tree." Wait, was the princess giving me another chance? Had my pets impressed her enough for her to pull me into the expedition out of pity? I didn't care how I got there. I'd take it. The guards entered the arena, lifted the webbed sculpture, and carried it up to her box. Then she looked me over once more. Now, back to the final results of the evaluation. The arena went silent. Princess Nadia looked down at me and smiled. The winner of this match, and the final slot in my brother's beast expedition, is Kruger. The crowd erupted in cheers as Kruger sneered and lifted his arms to the crowd. For a brief moment, the princess's gaze lingered on me before she turned and left her box. I recalled Ray. She skittered up my arm and settled beside Hawk. "I'm sorry we failed you, Master." Sergeant Rita glared at me with disdain. "Karl, you and your little petting zoo have failed this trial and made a mockery of the exams. Kruger will join the prince's hunting squad, while you'll be going back to the mines." My heart sank. Now I'd never be able to protect all those majestic beasts from the prince's cruelty. But just then, trumpets sounded. I had no idea this was about to change everything. Every head turned toward the main gates. "The prince's hunting expedition is back." My battered hawk flew up to get a better view. He screamed down from the sky, his wings flapping frantically. "Master Karl, incoming dragon!" My blood ran cold. There's no way they could have caught a real live dragon on the expedition. But out stepped Prince Magnus. Slick dark hair, sleek armor, a cold, commanding smile. Princess Nadia greeted him with a hug, then turned and presented Kruger as their newest member. But I barely noticed. My eyes were fixed on the cage. Prince Magnus raised his arm. "Behold our latest conquest, Scalyx, the black steel dragon." The crowd exploded. My heart dropped. Inside the cage, a black-scaled dragon lifted her head. Burn marks on her neck, shackles on her wings. "No! What have they done?" Hawk bristled. How did they capture her? But somehow the dragon didn't look ferocious. If anything, it looked helpless. And as she passed, for a moment, her eyes met mine and everything else fell away. "Whoa!" The bond hit hard. I could hear her calling out to me, a plea. Then Prince Magnus turned sharply, barking orders to his men. The soldiers hauled the cage toward the stables, and Kruger spat on the dragon as they passed. I clenched my fists. Hawk ruffled his feathers. "Master Karl, what are you thinking? Expedition or not, we're going to see that dragon." Beneath the academy grounds, I kept to the shadows and ducked behind the stables to the secret dungeon where they kept the captured beasts of the expeditions. One false move this way and the groundskeeper would catch me. Stray too close and I'd get eaten by steel-claw bears or pulverized by the thunder rams. I lifted a trapdoor buried beneath old straw and climbed down into the dark. As I crept closer toward the cavern, the smell of death immediately hit me. The walls echoed with low groans and growls. Chains rattled somewhere deeper in the dark. Hawk flew low and bristled. "I don't like this place, Karl. These are dangerous beasts, and Scalyx is the most dangerous of them all." We made it 5 steps before I sensed a shape moving in the dark. My stomach sank as its scales caught the torchlight. Suddenly I wanted to leave, go back to my foster home in the city and forget about all of this. The beast was monstrous, black as the night sky, with inky smoke trickling from her nostrils. I gulped, sweat cold on my throat. Crap. She growled at me and opened an eye, black as coal. But then, I felt a tug in my chest, an invisible thread yanking me toward her. It wasn't fear, it was calling, a plea for help. It was a natural beast bond. I'd felt it when I met Ray and Hawk, but this was way, way stronger. It took me off guard so much that I nearly fell face first into her. In a blink, the dragon's maw was inches from me. My knees knocked together like a cartoon. Few had seen black dragons because they often killed anyone they came in contact with. The dragon opened its great maw, and I felt heat swirl in the cave. Dragon fire. We were going to get roasted alive. Duck! But it was too late. Hot air blew my hair back, spit spattering my face. Scalyx could have killed us all, right then and there. And yet, she didn't. I reached a shaking hand out, a strange confidence overtaking me. It's all right, girl. I'm not going to hurt you. I touched her only for a moment. But in that second, I knew more about her than I did about my own family. She was scared, separated from her family. But more than that, she was in great pain. Images flashed through my mind. Whips, cages, flames, everything she'd endured. She'd die down here. We have to do something, Ray. Maybe if I talk to her, Ray said quietly. Maybe she'll understand we're friends. With that, she ran off my finger and skittered across the dragon's head. Wait, Ray! Scalyx flinched, her neck whipping across the cave, scared senseless by my little bug. Scalyx, no, she won't hurt you. Hawk beat his wings in the far corner near an exit. I told you this was a bad idea. Let's get out of here. I should have listened, but I had to know for sure. I had to find out if this strange feeling was a fluke, even if it might get me roasted alive. Ray, to me. I held out my hand, and Ray swung across the cave on a silken thread. Scalyx wheeled around at me furiously, as if I'd betrayed her. The cavern shook as she reared back, eyes and dagger teeth fixed not on me, but on Ray, who I now saw had landed between her horns, waving her tiny front legs like a dare. Ray, come back! My voice echoed, too loud. The dragon had reached its breaking point. The cave fell silent for a moment, and then, filled with a sound that curdled my blood in its veins, the dragon's massive burst of blue flame lit up the cavern like daylight, its shockwave blasting us into the far wall. A shrill klaxon blared instantly. Someone must have cast an alert rune in the dragon's pen. Hawk screeched, bumping frantically against the cave ceiling. We have to move, now! A hidden seat of stable doors crashed open, smacking Hawk back into me. Prince Magnus, Princess Nadia, Kruger, and Sergeant Rita all stormed in, leading a dozen screaming golden cloak guards into the chamber, lances at the ready. Kruger shot an accusatory finger at me, torch outstretched. Look who's poking the prince's pet. The expedition reject. He grinned, proud to be at the prince's side, hungry to prove himself. The prince stormed at me, shooting a finger in my face. How dare you trespass into the legendary dungeon? Do you have a death wish? Restrain him at once. A guard grabbed my collar, throwing me against the cavern wall. The others swarmed Scalyx. Chains glowed red as they tightened around her throat. She thrashed as 3 guards slammed her to the ground and forced a glowing muzzle over her snout. No! Don't hurt her. Princess Nadia strolled past me and raised a brow. Huh, you again. The circus animal trainer. Kruger made a show of stepping between me and Scalyx to protect his highness from the peasant student. You could have killed us all, you fool. I pressed my forehead into Kruger's. You're killing her, taking her away from her family, keeping her down here. You don't understand a thing about this beast. I locked eyes with Scalyx. Her gaze was no longer murderous, just sad. For a second, I wondered if she suspected what I now knew, that we were meant for each other. Sergeant Rita burst down last, screaming in my face. That's it, Karl. This is the last straw. You are expelled. My stomach plummeted. This couldn't be happening. If I were expelled, I'd be banished from the realm, and I'd never see Scalyx again. But I couldn't leave her down here to die. She was my destined beast, the one that would ascend me to my place as a legendary beastmaster. But more than that, she needed me. The reason I'd been called to the academy. The reason I felt in my bones I was supposed to be on that expedition. No, please. Give me one more chance to prove myself. Let me work in this dungeon, care for the beasts. Surely you could use someone to tend to them. I'll do anything. Prince Magnus raised a brow. Princess Nadia met his eyes and nodded disapprovingly, as if she knew what he was thinking. Kruger spat. Tend to them? These monsters don't need tending to. Rita shook her head. You've done enough. Pack your things. You're through. The prince's gloved hand raised as the guards marched me out. The cavern turned to him in perfect silence. His lips pulled into a thin smile. "You said you'll do anything to prove yourself?" The next thing I knew, he snapped his fingers and his royal guards dragged me away. First through a dark tunnel, and then straight into blinding light and the deafening roar of 1,000 voices. Crap. I was standing dead center in the arena. The swell of the crowd buckled my knees. The prince outstretched his arms from the royal box. "Karl Tamer of the coal mines, you want a chance to redeem yourself?" The crowd jeered, and the prince let their anger breathe. "You want to remain at Lithium Academy after your little trespassing stunt?" Kruger stood beside him, tearing into a massive leg of chicken. The prince raised a hand to silence them. "Then prove your worth for all to see. Face our Academy's greatest prize, Scalyx, the Black Dragon. Survive this battle and you earn your place. Fall, and Expulsion will be the least of your worries." Princess Nadia leaned forward in her seat, chin resting on her hand. "Let's see what you do now, you stubborn boy. Hope you brought your spider, beast dork." Suddenly, the gates at the far end rumbled open, and a great wall of black smoke poured out. My legs shook. I was trapped fighting Scalyx. My only hope is that she'd recognize I meant her no harm. A wind whipped through the air. The crowd hushed, then gasped as Scalyx soared into the ring. The legendary beast circled the arena once, then came to land at the prince's side. The crowd leaned forward, hungry for the show. I held a hand up, eager to calm her. But her eyes looked different as she bore her gaze into me, now unrecognizable. But something was wrong. She wasn't roaring or resisting. She moved stiffly, her eyes dull, her wings twitching like a puppet's. Then I saw it. Prince Magnus held a glowing black rod, every flick snapping through her body like a whip. He wasn't just commanding her, he was controlling her. I clenched my fists. "You're forcing her!" This wasn't the same beast I'd felt bonded to hours earlier. The prince's voice rang out. "Let the beast battle begin!" I could see Sergeant Rita in the audience. She had a furious look on her face. I'd ruined everything. Magical runes glowed in a protective circle around the battle arena. The first beasts out of the ring, or first ones dead, lost the battle. That was probably going to be us. Scalyx didn't recognize me, and Hawk and Ray stood no chance against her. It was all my fault. I had to give my beasts the chance to get out of this. I'm sorry, guys. I got us into this, but you can bow out, and I'll face Prince Magnus alone. Save yourselves. Across the arena, I saw Scalyx cock her head. She could probably hear me. Dragons, being legendary creatures, could detect most magical communication. But my beast's response was immediate. "We're with you, Karl. We'll help you fight the dragon." Thanks, guys. But we're not fighting her. She's not our enemy. Smoke poured from Scalyx's nostrils. Whether it was anger or something else, I couldn't tell. The prince stamped his heel. "No more games! Begin!" The rod in his hand flared red. Scalyx's body lurched forward, wings spreading against her will. She charged, fire blazing in her throat. I tried to soothe her. "Scalyx, please! We don't want to hurt you." Scalyx answered with a whip of her barbed tail. I hit the deck, the tail sailing overhead. That close to instant death. Hawk and Ray smiled at me bravely. "I guess we're doing this. Hawk, Gale Talon's strike." Hawk met Scalyx in the air. It looked ridiculous, these two winged beasts on a collision course. One, ridiculously strong. The other, ridiculously small and weak. Scalyx whipped her tail again, this time toward Hawk. He swooped just out of reach. Just a few inches the other way, and I would be down a pet. The impact shook the ring. Hawk was thrown back, blood scattering in the torchlight. Scalyx roared, not in triumph, but agony. She was fighting herself. The crowd parroted the prince's applause. "That's right," Magnus barked, cracking the rod again. "Show them the strength of the crown." I pointed at Scalyx. Scalix, please. I don't want to do it, but if you hurt my beasts, I'll have to. But I couldn't finish, because I saw her eyes flicker, the faintest shimmer of blue through the red glow. She was trying to resist. Fight it, Scalix, I yelled. You can do it. Scalix glared at me, a bull lining up her sword-sized horns. She beat her powerful wings, summoning a gale-force surge of wind that sent Hawk toppling backwards. Now the crowd was laughing. If I didn't fight back, both me and my pets would be killed. So I decided to attack from range. Hawk, razor feathers! Hawk swooped around, the sun glinting off the sharp edge of his feathers. He fired one at the dragon. It scraped along her hide, drawing blood. The prince paused. I was as shocked as he was. Hawk was powerful enough to wound a dragon. I'd drawn blood, but it hurt me more than Scalix. I didn't want to cause her any more pain. She was majestic, but somehow, I was wrong about her. She wasn't mine. The prince yelled down, furious. Pathetic beast. You call yourself legendary? He cracked the rod again as lightning coursed through Scalix's neck. She cried out, a sound that shook me to my bones. But she stood her ground. Move, you worthless lizard! Then, Magnus reached for a crossbow from one of the guards and aimed it straight at her chest. Fine. If my toy won't obey, then it has no purpose. No! He fired. I didn't even think. I lunged forward, ripped my dagger free, and flung it. Stop! The blade struck the arrow out of the air just as I skidded to a stop in front of Scalix, arms held out wide. If you want her, then you'll have to go through me. Scalix tilted her head, eyes narrowing on me. From the stands, Princess Nadia leaned forward in shock. Then Magnus snarled and aimed his crossbow at me. You want to protect her? Fine. Then die with her. But before he could fire, Master Karl, help! Hawk. I spun around, and there, at the edge of the arena, was Kruger, both arms morphed to steel, one hand gripping Hawk's neck, his body hanging limp, the other clenching my tiny spider, ready to crush her at any moment. Hawk. Ray, Kruger sneered. I should have killed your pets earlier, but better late than never, I guess. I lunged forward. Don't you dare! Magnus joined Kruger's side and cackled as Kruger raised both fists. You want them back? Then stand your dragon down and kill her. Or else, they die. So what's it gonna be? The dragon? Or your pets? A chill ran through me. Master Karl? Scalix looked to me as I nodded back at her firmly. You're not going to die. No beast dies today. And then, I saw her eyes begin to glow. And from the other side of the arena, Hawk and Ray's eyes lit up with the same ember fire as they began to grow. Master Karl, something's happening to me, Hawk said. I feel different, Ray skittered. The crowd gasped. Guards hesitated. Kruger and Magnus's faces twisted. Princess Nadia rose to her feet. No. Her eyes burned as she stared down at me. That can't be right. Does he really have the mark? Then, blue flame coiled around my arms, and a legendary blade appeared in my hands. Scalix, are you doing this? What is this?
This is our beast bond. I have chosen you, Master Karl.
My eyes widened in shock as our hearts pulsed as one.
And now, it's time for you and your beasts to evolve.
Click the link now to keep listening for free. Karl finally earned the loyalty of the legendary dragon Scalix, only to face a heart-wrenching choice. With Hawk and Ray in Kruger's deadly grasp, Karl must decide: protect his newly bonded beast, or sacrifice her to save the pets who stood by him from the start. But what is this new form taking shape within Karl and his beasts? And can anyone stop what's coming next? To find out, listen to the hit audio series First Legendary Beast Master, only on Pocket FM. Tap the link to keep listening for free today.